What's up, everybody? My name is Kenny, and I am located here in Montreal, Quebec, and I operate a business all across Canada that helps Canadians fix and repair their credit. In today's video, we're going to be discussing what's negotiable as far as dealing with collection companies. Now, if you like my content or you've seen any of my previous videos, or you just want to support the page, please like and follow the page as it helps the content reach out to other and new people. So to get started into this topic, pretty much most things are negotiable when it comes to a collection company. But prior to us getting to that phase of negotiating with a collection company, we want to ensure that we are even at that stage first. So before we get here, first we need to identify who is the collection company that we need to be receiving proof of debt from. Often I see where collection companies are contacting the consumer, but that collection company isn't even on the consumer's credit report, so not on Equifax or TransUnion. So after you identify this, you know that I should not be trying to negotiate with this company because they're not even properly on my credit report, nor are they affecting my credit score. So in this situation, we want to just send out a cease and desist letter to end all communications between us, the consumer, and that collection company. Now, once you are able to identify the true collection companies that are actually on your credit report, so they could be on one or the other, or they could be on both Equifax and TransUnion, then you want to start a request for proof of debt. So after we request proof of debt from the collection companies, we're looking for that original signed agreement from the original creditor, and this is something that I pretty much say in every video. After you're able to get that original signed agreement from the collection company, if they're able to produce that, then this is basically the stage where negotiations begin, okay? Usually, if they are able to provide you with proper proof of debt, this is where we want to just jump straight into pay for deletion. Let's not waste the collection company's time. Something that I always speak to when I'm telling consumers or when I'm working with consumers is that for you to have received a pay for deletion offer from a collection company, you're actually very lucky. That collection company legitimately owns the debt, they have proper documentation, and if they wanted to, they could seek litigation against you and win that case. But they're extending a route for you to pay off this debt and to get it removed off of your credit report. So let's not make this process more difficult than what it needs to be. A lot of times when I'm working with consumers, they'll try to lowball these collection companies because they know that these collection companies paid pennies on the dollar for the debt. Well, let's be realistic here. You put yourself in that situation. So understand that this is a business. They purchased that debt and they don't expect to not make profit on that debt. So to think that you're going to get over on this collection company that did their process right, it's not realistic and it's not going to happen. So the lowest that I would be willing to start in negotiations if I'm going to try to offer pay for deletion is 70%. Now, it's very rare that a collection company will be willing to take this. Maybe the debt is extremely old and they're willing to take this offer, but in most situations, that collection company is going to want 100% on that pay for deletion. Now, when we're negotiating with the collection company, this isn't something that we're not having a phone conversation. We're not talking about this casually and saying, hey, I just want to pay this debt off. We're very precise on what we're saying, and we're doing all of this in writing. At no point are we even admitting, even though they provided us with proof of debt, we're not admitting that this debt is ours. We're not taking responsibility for this debt, but we're just saying, hey, you know what? I'm just looking forward to move on past this. I'm kind of done with this, and I just want to do X agreement, right? Now, I have seen situations where some collection companies are willing to do payment plans to lead into pay for deletion. If that's something that's more budget friendly for you, then that's an option. But again, this all needs to be done in writing first before you move forward with that collection company. If you're working with a collection company and they just contact out to you, or reach out to you and say, hey, we'll let you pay 20% of this off, 30% of this off, and then you're good to go. You can't just take that at face value, because on that documentation that they send you, it needs to say that after the payment is made or after the settlement is made, that account is going to be removed off of your credit report. You need that in writing first with that company's letterhead on it, okay? So it's okay to do a payment plan as long as it leads to pay for deletion. It's okay to do a percentage of the debt as long as it leads to pay for deletion. And it's okay to pay the full amount because, again, they have proper proof of debt, but as long as it leads to full deletion off of both Equifax and TransUnion. So many people, they get overwhelmed with everything that's going on throughout the disputing process or the negotiation process, that they just take the first offer that's given to them. And that first offer usually is in the favor of the collection company. There are very few collection companies that I would say play the game fair, because at the end of the day, if you really look at this at a macro level, it's a game. Um, there are very few companies, and most are going to take advantage of you if you are not aware of everything that comes with this game. So when you get this document, it's okay to sit on it. A lot of them will say, hey, you have 3 days to make this decision. A lot of collection companies use this time tactic to pressure you into situations that you're not ready for. It's okay. You can take that document, you could sit on it, you could send it to us. You could send us an email with the document that you received from the collection company, let us analyze it, let us help you out. Or you could work with a consumer lawyer, have them look at that document and advise you on what you should do. But unfortunately, I'm gonna be very honest, here in Canada, the consumer lawyers are not really well aware of how the full disputing process works. And that's just me being completely honest. A lot of them are very oblivious to asking for paper deletion. A lot of lawyers I have seen from my experience make consumers just settle out and then have that collection account on their credit. While a lot of consumer lawyers understand consumer law, they don't understand credit. So that's why sometimes you need a credit specialist there to assist you. It's okay to have a consumer lawyer and a credit specialist working for you or working with you at the same time, right? Because a lot of times we can help you see the clear picture. The consumer lawyer can help you negotiate things. The credit specialist can let you know what kind of deal you should take. All of these things can play a part. Sometimes you need a team because you're going against a business in a lot of these situations. These collection companies are a business. A lot of times we forget that. We just think that we just see them as debt collectors, but it's a business. And a lot of these companies are extremely large. And I'm talking about publicly traded on the stock market large. So they're in it for profit, and they have a legal team on their team. They have sales reps, they have HR, all these things. They have a full department. And to think that you can just take this on by yourself is not always realistic, right? Everything varies. So protect yourself, know what you're doing, and everything is up for negotiation when it comes to a collection company, but we want to ensure that we get anything and everything in writing first. If you need help with a collection company, send us an email. It's info@kennyjohnsonuniversity.com. Um, don't be afraid to share any questions that you have. Send it to us via email. We can always book a call, go over any of your questions. And until next time, peace.